Merrill was a real personality. He told you what he thought.
He had a few enemies out there. He had a lot of friends as well.
So strong in his viewpoints.
Very personable, very good looking, and made a wonderful impression on people. The reason we had come to Georgetown, Colorado was we were all sort of interested in pursuing a career in the ski world. And Merrill was working just as a workman for the summer for Larry at Arapahoe Basin. Then building the lifts, cutting the trails, and he made this wonderful photographic album of the summer. So we have this record of the summer of '47 and construction of Arapahoe Basin.
When Merrill started the skiing magazine, this was when skiing was just starting to take off, and there was a thirst and a need for information.
He started off, as he would say, on a card table in his house, and they pieced together what they could get from different parts of the country, and his progress almost mirrored the progress and the growth of the ski industry.
Well, I think he had a talent for writing and also a talent for constructing a magazine.
He got the geographic resorts that were developing at the time. He got the ski racing results and that type of thing. And he got the equipment, ski technique and the techniques and teaching and things, because he was a teacher.
It was almost a Bible in the industry and to the consumer because of the way the magazine was laid out and the technical information, fashion.
He was a perfectionist, very, very much so.
Merrill didn't start off half on anything. He just was full force. And one of the great things he started on was the Olympics. And he actually won the Olympics for Colorado. The other people turned it down in the end. But he started and he won the Olympic Games.
He actually told me an interesting story about how Canada didn't get the Olympics because of some backroom negotiations in Japan to ensure that Japan would get the Olympics, which would allow the U.S. to bid for the Olympics in '76. And he was part of a little group of power brokers that worked on that arrangement, because if Canada had gotten it, then Denver would not have been a candidate for the '76 Olympics.
And if it hadn't been for the change of venue that came about with the people of Colorado turning down those Olympics, it certainly had nothing to do with the great desire that Merrill had in having those Olympics.
Merrill loved to ski, but he wouldn't give up the Alberg technique. You could spot him a mile away with that big cranking arm going around, but he got down the mountain quite well.
My brother came in with a turn which he called the Dyna turn, which quite frankly was, just like any other ski turn, but they labeled it, and I think Merrill had a lot to do with labeling it.
And it was fairly controversial. So you either liked it or you didn't like it. And we thought controversy was a pretty good thing, particularly because it got people talking about ski racing.
I think a funny one was this happened in New York at a consumer show. And we got there and had our booth set up and everything else. And Hayes looked over at the escalator, and the escalator was going down. And he said, "That'll never do." The next day we came in, and the escalator was going up. Now, how he did it, I'll have no idea.
I think Merrill was a pioneer, recognized as a pioneer in the publishing business. I think what we've lost is a person who had the ability to relate things to us that happened that many of us may not have known about. I mean, he was mesmerizing when it came to stories and those kind of things.
It's left a great legacy of the history of Colorado skiing. I just would say it was a great contribution.
For all of us who have been friends of Merrill's for many, many years, we're all so happy that he's finally been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I think it's a tremendous reward for all the many, many years that he spent in this industry, and I think it's been a long time coming.
I saw him 4 days before he died. He knew he was going to die. He was very open about it. And he said, "We'll see you the next time around, and hopefully there'll be some skiing there.
Tough as he was a nice guy, and we'll miss him.